Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. This is Angie Rodriguez, your District 39 Director. Tonight, I'm going to bring you another Pathways video with some tips on your Pathways path and projects. And tonight, we're going to cover part 2 in your Pathways project. And when I say part 2, I literally mean part 2 of a project. Hopefully, you've looked at some of the earlier videos where I covered Pathways pointers, which were some tips about the new upgrades to the Pathways projects that were launched after October of 2025. The second video was how to track your meeting roles, since we are now looking at doing certain meeting roles in our levels and tracking those so we know that we've completed those throughout our projects. And then finally, the latest video was on Pathways Part 1 or Section 1. So let's go ahead and go to our Pathways project and our path and look at part 2. You can see I am here on the learning dashboard, and I'm going to click on our engaging humor path. Now, just a quick reminder, when you go into your path, the layout is basically the left side of your page is your table of contents, and it is corresponding to what's on the right side or the main part of your page, which is the details of your path and your projects. Now I need to get to my icebreaker speech and to part 2 of that icebreaker speech. So let's scroll down. Right now I'm at my checklist. You can see it's highlighted and I am on my checklist. Let's keep going down. I need to open up the icebreaker project by hitting the little caret, and that's going to take a moment to refresh and open up. While we're looking at the screen, you can see on this checklist page, again, these are all the things that you need to complete in this level, level 1, to complete the level. Here we are at the icebreaker. It's opened up. Last time's video was on part 1. We'll scroll down here, and here we are at part 2, the icebreaker speech. I'll click on that, and it takes us to part 2, the icebreaker speech. So this is an information section. Have you ever heard the phrase, tell them what you're going to tell them, and tell them what you told them? Well, this page is a little bit of the tell them what you're going to tell them page. It's for your information. It is a look at what's coming next in this section. A little bit about the value of the icebreaker speech, a little bit about planning your speech, and then looking ahead, rehearsing it, presenting it, that sort of thing. So it's just for your information, for your reading. We'll click the next button, which corresponds to the next section, which should be you and your goals. And there we are, you and your goals. And in this section, we're talking about the actual icebreaker speech, learning a little more information. There's a very nice video in this section by one of our own members, our Toastmasters members, on their experience at giving their icebreaker speech. Now, as you go through this learning process with Toastmasters, it's just like any other learning process. You get out of it what you put into it. You can read through all of these pages of your project. You can watch all the videos, and I'm certain that you will get a lot out of this learning process. There's no reason why, if you choose to, you can't just skip the reading and skip the videos and you'll still get something out of it, I'm sure. It's entirely up to you. Pathways is self-driven. It's driven by you. You do what you need to do to learn the things within Toastmasters and within this education program. It is driven by you. To start this video, you simply click the video button. We'll scroll down now to the next section, which is organizing your speech. Read about how to organize your speech. You're looking for an interesting topic. You want an opening, you want a body, you want a conclusion. We'll scroll down a little further. And now you're getting to the speech outline worksheet. And you'll notice these little black circles with some white crosses in them. If you click on those, it will open up more information about this speech outline worksheet. Hit the X, it closes it. Click again, there's more information. But let's go ahead and look at the speech outline worksheet. Here we are. I've opened it up in advance. The speech outline worksheet is a downloadable fillable PDF. So you can see as I scroll down, you can type in the speech title, my icebreaker. You can type in some main points you want to use in your icebreaker speech. You can type in maybe your reason for joining Toastmasters, whatever you want to put in your icebreaker speech, you can put on this worksheet. It is only a tool to help you narrow down your focus of your icebreaker. Your icebreaker speech is only 4 to 6 minutes long. You can't fit your whole life story in those 4 to 6 minutes. So you need to narrow it down a little bit. And this is a tool that will help you do that. Let's go back to your project. We're going to scroll down, and what's next? Well, we get to the next button, and we come to the Prepare and Present section, which corresponds to our table of contents, Prepare and Present. So here we are at the Prepare and Present section, which talks about what do I do? Do I write my speech out or do I not? Do I just make an outline on some note cards? I don't know what to do. Well, it depends on you. What are you comfortable with? You choose the method. It really doesn't matter. One way is not better than the other. One way is not right. One way was not wrong. It's up to you, but you learn about each method and choose one. How do you connect with your audience? Some methods to do that. Scroll down, read through. Anytime you have something that lights up, when you scroll over it, this one, it lights up in red. Rehearse with family and friends. You want to practice your speech after you write it. Click the arrow. There's more information underneath there. This is one of the very nice things about Pathways is that we can fit more information underneath what you see on the page. Click on these. There's more information to learn about each section. If we were to put this in a book, the book becomes a little bit large, cumbersome, maybe even heavy. So we can fit it all on here, having our education program being online. Scrolling down, now I've got these red buttons that you can click on with more information underneath. Pacing, organization of your icebreaker, how to review it, what to learn about it. And then we get to a section about communicating with your evaluator. The evaluation in Toastmasters is one of the most important ways that we learn. Being evaluated, getting feedback immediately from an evaluator about the speech you just gave. That process is done in a very safe environment, done with tact, done to give you positive feedback. Sometimes it's a very scary process at the very beginning, but once you realize that you're going to create a connection with your evaluator, a relationship with your evaluator, so that you both understand what you're looking for, how you want to learn and grow, it becomes a much easier process. How do you start that communication with your evaluator? So you have a little information about it here, and you have a video that talks about the evaluation process, what to expect, how to learn to accept that feedback graciously. And then we have a little information about relaxing and breathing in that icebreaker speech. What's next? Well, we click on the next button, and that is the end of part 2 or section 2 in our icebreaker project. I hope that you've learned a little bit about section 2. Please join me next time for section 3, and we'll look at what's covered in section 3. I hope these videos are helpful for you and you're able to learn a little bit about how to navigate through your project in Pathways. Thank you very much for joining me.